Welcome, everybody, to this new episode of the FTR Podcast.
Welcome, one and all.
Yeah, episode 8. We've been doing this for 2 months now. It's great. Who would have thought that?
I would have thought that.
Yeah, me too.
Determination.
Yeah, exactly. I told you, after a podcast are rated to live longer, I don't know what the hell to say here. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Jojo said that podcasts, they last if they go past 7 episodes, is it?
7 episodes, yeah.
So hopefully we're here to last. We're here to last.
Exactly. So today, of course, we're not gonna talk about what happened in the past, weekend, because
International, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Except for the new manager of England has been called.
Shall we talk about that first and foremost?
Yeah, let's talk about that, and then what we're gonna do today. We're gonna look back at the predictions that we made on our first episode of the podcast and discuss a little bit about how they're going.
Exactly.
If we are right, if you're wrong, and maybe.
And depending how quickly we get through it, we might also go through predictions for the next game week. So when you see our reactions afterwards, you'll be able to see how terribly wrong we are or how amazingly correct we are.
We'll see. Anyway, Thomas, how do I say it?
Tuchel, I think.
Okay, Tuchel.
I think that's how you pronounce it. But everyone calls it Thomas Tuchel.
No, I thought it was Tuchel, but then I was like, I don't know. But anyway, we'll call him Tuchel.
Yeah.
What do we think about him?
I personally am very, very, very happy. I didn't think a manager of Thomas Tuchel's level would accept an England job.
Where is he from? Is he
German?
Okay.
The rivalry. If he wins
anything from the money.
If he wins a World Cup for England, that's insane. Because I don't think Germans care anywhere near as much as England do.
No, and then we were talking about that last week, how Southgate had a massive team, and he wasn't able to do anything with it. Thomas Tuchel, he's been a great manager.
He's an established manager. He shows that he can do what needs to be done.
Has he won the league with Bayern Munich? No.
He only was there for 1 season, I'm pretty sure.
Is it the season that they
didn't
lost?
win it?
Okay.
But let's be real here at the same time. He still did very well with a struggling Bayern Munich side. He went in, and let's be real, he came second place to a team which didn't lose a single match in the league. That doesn't happen often in any league.
No, yeah. And I think, to be honest, at this point, anything is better than Southgate.
Yes, I mean,
to a point.
I'll be real. The person who I wanted to get appointed, who was my realistic one, was Graham Potter.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Because I thought they were going to go English.
Potter has been a good manager. Like not as good as Tuchel.
He's clearly better than Southgate. Was the thing for me.
We made that point clear that anything is better than Southgate.
Oh, 100%. But Thomas Tuchel, what a steal! Like honestly, well done. You know what? I think we got our first round of applause for this week to the English FA for appointing Thomas Tuchel. Wow, I mean, I was very excited when I saw it yesterday. Coming from Fabrizio Romano saying, "Oh yeah, the talks are going." I was like,
"I sent you this morning the reel of him saying hello to all the England fans on official England."
I was going to respond to you, and I was going to be like, "You think I haven't seen this already?" But I was out.
I just reacted.
A little love heart. But no, like I'm very excited, and I think he's made his ambitions very clear. He's openly said he wants the second star above the England badge. So do I. I want to see England win a World Cup. Bukayo Saka.
Let's be honest. England was meant to win the past 2 Euros. No, actually, not with Italy. I'm sorry, because I'm Italian.
No. But let's be real though. If you look at it on paper,
statistically and objectively, yes,
we should have won both those tournaments. We should have made it further in the World Cup. We didn't.
Yeah, I'm completely with you. And the thing
ridiculous.
Is, I think that they will go far. And if they don't, it is a problem. It's going to be
I completely agree.
Then we can 100% completely say that England is cursed.
I disagree. The way I look at it is, some top level managers just don't work. They don't. My issue is, if this one doesn't work, a lot of people will be like, oh, well, we better go back to Southgate's and stuff like that. No. Keep on getting top-level managers in until it works. This one is a great appointment. Tuchel, is
whatever, it's fine.
He's a phenomenal tournament manager. He's proven that. He won the Champions League with a Chelsea team, which was not very good. Let's be honest with you. They had Mason Mount, who, don't get me wrong, was a lot better then than he is now. Kai Havertz, who was worse then than he is now.
And he still won the Champions League. So, yeah. Again,
he's a very good manager. He out-tacticked, what's it called, Pep Guardiola in that final. Like, Pep Guardiola looked like a schoolboy in the final. It was tournament football, but he's a phenomenal manager in tournament football. Last season with Bayern Munich, he beat Arsenal. I think he beat PSG too. Like, he's a really good manager.
How far did they get to in the Champions League? It was like quarterfinals or semi-finals?
I think it was... No, because we got to quarters. They got to semis, I think.
Yes, because Bayern Munich beat Liverpool. Liverpool.
Arsenal. Beat Arsenal, yeah. And it's one of those. He is a very good manager. And my issue is, I've already seen it. Oh, but he's German. Can he do it? Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's one of those.
There's so many managers that are from a different country that manage, national teams. How many Italian managers have we seen in the Euros that have managed? There was Turkey. There was Albania. There was another country as well.
I mean, I think the main
What's
thing
the
which
problem?
people look
like,
at,
if they do the job,
the main thing people look at is that a World Cup has never been won by a country whose manager was not from that country.
Well, let it be the first
I
time.
would love it. Because imagine, right, Tuchel wins the World Cup for England, and we hear 2 World Wars and 2 World Cups, England. Because they'd be chanting that straight away. And honestly, Tuchel's been in football. He knows that the banter's there and all that sort of stuff. He's been in England. He knows what it's like.
And again,
he'll be okay with
football is about money at the as well right now.
Yeah.
So there you go. But hopefully Italy wins the World Cup. Probably it's not going to happen. But
I mean, even then, like, even if we take the money aside, you're Thomas Tuchel. There's no club jobs that are super available at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So
you've been at a lot of the big teams saying, like, you know what, I'll get paid decent money anyway, like similar wages, and I work less.
To be not as stressed.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, you look at what national team it is. Yeah, the expectations are high, but it's a damn good squad.
You've got good players.
And I'm very happy that it's Tuchel, because I feel like him as a manager, he will be a bit more strict. He will come in and he will just be like, to all those like English media out there who are there, and they're like, oh, we need to be playing Saka, Palmer, Gordon, Bellingham, all these like 5 different players who all play similar positions.
No more Henderson. and Ben White might be able to come back.
It's one of those. It depends if he's going to play or not. I doubt he will.
He could be, substitute.
I was talking about this the other day. My opinion is, I would actually call Ben White up. I'd play him at right back, and
that's what I'm saying.
I'd play Trent at the number 8.
Okay.
A lot of people would disagree with me, but what good number 8s do we have?
None that come to my mind at the moment.
Exactly. Maybe Kobe Mainu, but he's super young, and I don't
give him space.
I mean, even look at this season. He's already started to struggle a little bit, and yeah, he's at a struggling Man United team, so understandable. But we need a number 8 in there, and I think Trent's potentially better there. If he gets that space, he can whip it into different players. And the Tuchel, he will be able to sort out that defence properly. Yeah. So I think I would trust Ben White in that system. But in my opinion, obviously this is without me having any personal connection to Ben White, my assumption is that he's very much so of the opinion of, if I play, I'll go.
As well, because Southgate is not there anymore. So
well, it wasn't Southgate. It was Southgate's assistant manager who he fell out with.
Yeah, but
I know.
It comes with the job.
It's fresh. It's a new sort of like open book.
New everything. It's gonna be very good for England anyway.
But that's if Ben White will even be starting for Arsenal at that point.
True.
Timber's been phenomenal. Calafiore's been phenomenal. Does he fit in?
My boy!
Does he fit in? That's the question, though.
I mean, he could go and play for a different team.
It's the tough. I love Ben White. I love him. And I would never want to see him play for another team. It's like, you know how it was like with Ramsdale, for example? It's even worse because I love Ben White more. because Ben White was more involved in the action.
Ramsdale was his time to go. Like
I agree, but it'll still be sad. It will be
sad, but he's probably let's be honest, he's not going to be at Arsenal for the rest of his life.
Ben White?
Yeah.
Honestly, I can actually see Ben White being there for most of his career.
Yeah, but if he doesn't spend enough time playing because you said
he'll go.
He will go. Like
he'll go if he doesn't get enough game time. But it's one of those. There's that competitive side of things. I think he's more than good enough to be able to play a lot of minutes. And also
he's
Timber,
such an English man. Like
Timber's exceptional at 1v1s. Yeah. Exceptional. So you could play him in different systems, all that sort of stuff. But it depends if they're okay with that. But I'm down for whatever. And I mean, Thomas Tuchel, I'm very happy with it. I'm very annoyed at the English media, though, for making so much out of it, saying, it's a disgrace and stuff like that. Because they've started putting stuff out like that. Some of the, I saw, I think it was like Mail Sport or something like that. One of those crap, like, mongy, like, news publications. And I was just like, grow up, mate. Southgate was crap. There's no elite level English managers who are near Thomas Tuchel. He's the best manager on the market. We took him.
Well done.
That's
well
a huge
done
thing
for England to sign him. We'll already have a round of applause, but let's just reiterate that.
I was so happy. So happy.
Yeah. Closing that small window, let's talk about predictions. So, pretty much we're literally going to go through the same exact predictions and talk about them, how they're going. So, we have top 4, bottom 3, underachievers, overachievers, manager of the season, signing of the season, and player of the season. So, okay, so we have my top 4 first, then Dan's top 4. So my top 4 is Arsenal first, Man City second, Liverpool third, and Aston Villa fourth. Then Daniel, you have...
I have Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, and Newcastle.
Okay. So we have the first 3, both of us.
Yeah, of course. I mean, in my opinion, those top 3 is a given. It's just the order which people disagree on.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, the order... No, we don't disagree on it. Other people disagree on it.
Okay, sorry.
Some people, in my opinion, for no good reason, say that Liverpool are in a shout for the title race. No. They've played no tough teams yet. Their manager, Arne Slot, who I have a lot of respect for, himself has said no. But then obviously, you look at City, you look at Arsenal, and it's
only 1 point. They're only 1 point behind.
Exactly.
And now that Man City has lost a couple of really good players,
Arsenal losing players like flies at the moment, though. Saka's injured,
yeah,
Martinelli's injured, Havertz is injured, Ødegaard's injured. I'm in danger.
Anyway, so looking at the top 4, 3 of the teams are there. Still only 7 matches that they have played. And I completely agree with you. And actually, Liverpool has got 1. Yeah, they've only got 1 win more than Man City and Arsenal. So
yeah, because obviously we drew against each other because we've played each other so far. I think the big thing with Arsenal at the moment, which is why I still give them the edge, is we beat Spurs away, we drew at Man City away, and that's controversial. We already spoke about it. I won't speak about it more, even though it enrages me. But we've got some tough games out the way. Liverpool are in that spell now. If they get those tough games out the way and win all of them or most of them and get results, then I'd say at the moment they are. Because with me, for Liverpool, it's a new manager. You have to see how the energy maintains is the thing for me. And it means if they get through that, I'll say they have the opportunity 100% to challenge. But I think it suits Liverpool, though, being in that position where they don't consider themselves as title challengers. Because if they did, they'd be like, oh, this is ridiculous when they lost to Forest 1-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we've already spoken about it, and it's like,
it happens.
One off.
If you challenge them with the top 4, it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's more than fine.
But number 4, I put Aston Villa, you put Newcastle.
Yep.
As of right now,
Aston Villa are
5th, like
same points
as Chelsea. So, but Chelsea is performing very well, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I think Chelsea will keep that top 4.
I can see them doing it, but I still stand for Aston Villa because I want my predictions to be right. But I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea even get 3rd.
Newcastle are only 2 points off. I think the reason why I think Villa won't get it is you saw the Man United match. Well, no, you didn't, sorry. But you saw the result.
Yeah.
It was boring football because they were knackered from Champions League. And that's going to be the issue.
That's going to be the issue. If they get knocked out of the Champions League, even if they... Maybe if they keep going to the Europa League, that will be a challenging factor. But if they get knocked out by every single,
But my issue is, with that comes injuries. Look at Newcastle when they got Champions League qualification. They got into it. They were playing the matches. They were doing well in both. They were struggling a little bit. And then because they were playing the same 11 in both matches, and it was basically the same 11 in Champions League.
They were knackered. Yeah, the players were struggling
injuries,
a lot.
Unfortunately, and that's how congested the fixtures are at the moment.
Yeah.
But
so that's the only thing with Aston Villa, to be honest. The fact that they're playing a big competition like Champions League after I don't know how long.
Oh,
was
yeah.
The last time that they played Champions League?
I don't even know.
Yeah,
Not in my lifetime, I don't think. Not in your lifetime either. Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Well done to them for being up there. I mean, Newcastle, I think they're a bit under the radar at the moment for how well they've done, considering they've got no striker at the moment. Because Isak and Wilson are both injured. They've got Gordon up top, who is not a striker. You can see it so much in the matches. Like he wants to be on that wing so much more, but they're doing it and they're getting the job done. I mean, they got a draw out of City, a phenomenal result for them. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what happens as far as that top four goes. But if I was going to change it, I'd put Chelsea in my top four now. I'll be honest with you.
Same. I think I would change Aston Villa for Chelsea as of right now. But probably we will do this in the middle of the season.
Yeah, of course.
To, just check how we're doing and how all the teams are doing. The underachievers... Not the underachievers. The
relegation. Bottom three.
Oh. I put Everton, Southampton and Forest. You, Daniel, put Forest, Southampton and Leicester. I think... Wait. Did I put Everton? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
So far, we've only got one team.
However, all the teams mentioned are in that fight, bar Forest, who are really surprising. I mean, they've done...
I'm like, oh
great job. Great job. You know what? I think they deserve a round of applause.
Well done, boys, for these...
Honestly, like
7
even though you're wearing a Derby jumper, and we're both but we're both located in Derby. I mean, wow, they're doing a phenomenal job. They're the Giant Slayer this season, and they're getting those points that way. And they're doing really well. They've got those players like Cam Hudson-Odoi, really pulling his weight. I mean, they're really dirty though, and I kind of like that.
My thought was, at the beginning of the season, I was like, the players, like the team doesn't have the players to keep going into this competition, but they just proved wrong. Proved everybody wrong. They are proving everybody wrong.
Well, it's more of, for me, when I've watched them play, it was like they've got the players. You can see it. The players are good enough, but the players never gel together at all. It was like, okay, you got a team of individuals who are good enough to keep you in the league, but Gary has no idea where Sally's going on the weekend. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, no idea what runs are being made or anything. So for me, it was really, really impressive. I looked at it and I just thought, wow, these guys are doing a job here, which I didn't expect to happen. They've had some good results. Obviously, they've got the likes of Elanga still there, who I think is a good winger, better than Anthony. And they've got some really good players in there. And I mean, they're dirty though. Just like James Ward-Prowse. Did you see the red card he got?
I saw that they got a red card, yeah, but I didn't remember it.
So he fell over, and he just grabbed the ball because the other team won the attack, and he was just like, "No, I'll just stop it here."
Well,
he got sent off for it. It's dirty, but that's what it takes sometimes.
Yeah, and I think it's paying off.
Look at Diego Simeone. He's a dirty git, but he gets the job done. You know what I mean? He's won the Liga. He's been in a Champions League final as a manager, and his team just gets the job done no matter what. Blood, sweat, tears. And that's what I like about it. Don't get me wrong. I'll be very frustrated when Arsenal go up against them because I can tell it'll be a mission. But well done to them for doing stuff like that, because it isn't easy just to say especially in this day and age where people are so into attractive football, they want to do this, that, and the other, to be like, no, we're going to be dirty gits and we're going to get the job done. And that is what
that's what football used to be about. Just
get the job done.
Get the job done no matter what. Do tactical fouls. Do the things that make your team just be. I think what you said about the red card makes you think how much of a leadership qualities all the players have. Just to take responsibility and say, I'll do this because I love the team more than I love like a red card or whatever, which is good. I probably wouldn't do it myself because I'm not a football player.
Well, it's one of those. It's a second yellow for him, so it's like it's only one match. You know what I mean? It's only the match he's in. He's chilling. He's fine. Yeah, exactly. It's like just take the wage cut a little bit. I mean, if the team know that's what you meant to do, they probably won't even give you the wage cut for it. They'll be like, "Oh, well done, lad. Go on." You know what I mean? But it's really good, and I really like seeing that side of things sometimes in football, where it's just like, let's be ruthless here. But I would like to reiterate on mine. I put Leicester in my bottom 3. I think I put them at the bottom in 20th.
Yes, you did.
That was because the point deduction looked almost inevitable. And that is not happening. That's not happening anymore, which changes things dramatically. I do still think they're in that relegation scrap 100%. Though. I mean, Man United, are they in it? No, I'm joking. They're not. They're not. They're not. Let's be real.
You know what? It's not gonna happen. But if it happens,
it would be lovely. Don't get me wrong. I would feel.
It would be disaster.
I would feel elated. I would be so happy. I'd be hate watching. I'd be loving it. But
let's imagine like a city like Manchester, like the whole city.
Riots. There'd be riots outside Old Trafford.
Like Manchester United, if they go down, riots. And Manchester City, all of those money and like that. Imagine like full city destroyed.
No, nobody care about City. They don't have many fans.
Yes, but still, they've got some fans that care about it.
Have you seen? Have you seen their trophy celebrations?
Yeah, I've seen it. But
exactly,
still, man. There's like
nobody's going to turn up for riots there. People will only turn up to Manchester United, and the city will burn red. I'm telling you, it will burn. Everyone will just see flares in the streets. Shops closed. Stay in your homes. Don't go outside. Police will be issuing warnings. Don't come outside. Old Trafford, like the chant goes, it will fall down. Old Trafford is falling down.
The problem is that, not to be racist or anything, but in English people, like football fans, they can be violent.
Very much so.
And I'm saying, like, even Manchester City fans, they just, there's a riot. I go and...
Okay.
Two
people will have a scrap. Yeah. Okay, so you get relegated. There'll be one fight. You know what I mean?
I will just rip
and then
t-shirt.
The end of it saying, sorry. You know what? I'll buy you a PSG top. You know what I mean? They'll end it with that. You know what I mean? It's with Man United. It wouldn't happen, but if it did, the city of Manchester would.
I am glad that we started this podcast that when this breaking event happens. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Bro, if it did, literally Manchester would be burning.
If it does, let's get a train to Manchester to go to the right.
No! I'm not risking myself for friggin' Manchester United. You know what I'll be doing? I'll be sat right here watching the telly and laughing. Well, not laughing at all the poor people who'd be getting hurt from riots, but more of just... Because there'd be a silhouette of Old Trafford burning in the Manchester skyline.
Yeah. They will want to just take Ten Hag down, like...
No, it'd be one of those. If they went down, Ten Hag would not still be manager. He would already be sacked. It would be the case of they sack Ten Hag and whoever they replace him with is worse somehow.
Southgate, please.
Nah, but the thing is, when you look at the matches they've played so far, they're clearly not going to get relegated. You know what I mean? Like, look at Bournemouth. Bournemouth are on the exact same points as them. They're not going down. The relegation scrap, in my opinion, starts with Leicester, Everton, Ipswich, Palace, Southampton and Wolves.
Which, Crystal Palace is still quite a big surprise in the actual
huge surprise.
Relegation zone. We spoke about Wolves. It would be sad to see them going down. But Crystal Palace is, yeah.
I mean,
Boys, wake up.
Is he doing the same job as Patrick Vieira? First season did a great job. Second season, relegation scrap. Are they going to need Roy Hodgson back? Out of retirement, 100 years old, wheelchair.
If he does the job.
Get an IV strapped into him. IV stat. It's so boring. Dinosaur football is what he plays. But if it keeps him up, it keeps him up. And it's one of those. Glasner did really, really well. And for me, Palace have been unlucky. We saw in that Liverpool match they deserved the penalty. And
yes.
And I think it's one of those. It's you can only be unlucky for so long. Whether that will mean one of two things, in my opinion. Either they'll start getting results or they won't. And they won't be close. It won't be fine margins. It'll be, okay, we're 1-0 down, heads drop, we're going to lose.
It might be that next season, then they just, achieve better if they stay in the Premier League.
Oh, well,
again,
100%.
Hopefully they stay up.
I mean,
because I don't want to be wrong with my prediction.
I mean, they've lost their star player in Michael Elise, and I know I mentioned it in the last episode. I spoke to somebody and they were trying to. It was a Spurs fan because they were at the time links between Eze and Spurs, and I was like, Elise's way better. And this was even when Eze was linked with Arsenal at the same time, and I was like, Elise's way better, and he was like, no, and I was like, do you even watch like Crystal Palace play? Eze's good, Elise is great. Like, that's the way I'd put it.
Yeah.
And I think, thank you, Crystal Palace, for buying Eddie Nketiah, but replacing Michael Elise with Eddie Nketiah is like such a downgrade. Eddie Nketiah is a phenomenal championship striker.
Can you repeat that statement, please?
Eddie Nketiah is a phenomenal championship striker.
Okay.
I've seen him at Arsenal long enough to know. In the
Premier League, you're right, but it's it's really interesting how you define him as a great championship striker. Oh, he's only played in the Premier League.
In Championship, he'll be winning Golden Boot, stuff like that. Like that's the level he's at. But in the Premier League, I don't know what it is. He just struggles. Like when you see him, even when he went on loan at Leeds, he did a good job. And when you see him in like the League Cup, as soon as there's a Championship team, he's like sound. And he just becomes like really good and just somehow scores goals. He's like an Ian Wright. He's like a poacher in the box, and it works really well in Championship.
If Crystal Palace goes down, then you see. Could you think if they can go back up?
Oh, definitely. Unfortunately, the Championship is unfair like that. It's whatever teams go down have the highest probability of going back up.
Yeah, the Championship is
and if you don't go up in those first 2 years, you're stuck. It's going to be a long way. But if Crystal Palace do go down, they're losing Gahey, they're losing some star players there. They'll lose Eze. They might even lose Mateta. So they'll lose a lot of good players and they'll have to rebuild. But potentially that's what they need.
So boys, don't go down.
It's a nightmare for any fan. Any fan for your club to go down. But
I can't tell because Inter Milan has never gone down. So
neither's Arsenal. Hell yeah, baby! My biggest worry though is Wolves. 1 point. 1 draw, 6 losses. And they're not even looking terrible either. But that just shows how brutal the Premier League is.
Bad luck. Again, it's only been 7 matches.
I'm just looking at their matches so far. Yeah. So, this Premier League season, obviously Arsenal first, where they lost 2-0. Then they played against... So, Arsenal away, Chelsea home. Then they had Forest, which was the draw. Actually, you look at their matches, bar Brentford, they've had such a tough run. They've literally had Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, Villa, and Liverpool.
Yeah, so I think because they've played a few big teams, they're probably still in the learning process.
Well, it's not even in the learning process. It's those games you expect them to lose.
I don't think that you expect them to lose, but there is there's a chance that they could lose.
There's a Wolves team which has no investment going in, basically. I expect them to lose against the big teams, no matter how good Gary O'Neill is. You know what I mean? If you put no money in, you can't expect them to beat all the big boys.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
That's the way I look at it. So it's more of when they go up against like your Uniteds, your West Hams. Obviously, they played Brentford and their defence was a shambles, an absolute shambles. And that's the biggest issue with Wolves, in my opinion, at the moment, is they're scoring goals, they're just conceding too many.
There is what we spoke about last week or 2 weeks ago. When did they play against Brentford? Last week?
Yes.
Yeah. So the fact that they still scored at the last minute and they were down 3 goals, it shows that there's a great mentality within the players. So hopefully,
I mean, they've scored 11 goals this season so
exactly.
far.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
so
they still have a chance. That's what I believe.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Southampton are the more, in my opinion.
Yeah, Southampton, it was like, there's no chance they can say.
When you're watching them, it's, even though they're technically above Wolves at the moment, like, actually, let's have a look at what Southampton's running was, because we both put them as going down, obviously for a reason, but we'll find out. Newcastle, tough match. Forest, they should be trying to get something out of it. Brentford, again, they should be trying to get something. Southampton should be trying to get something. Ipswich, they got a draw. Bournemouth, so they've had a much easier run and still been kind of just shagged over. They've still had some difficult teams in there, but almost every team has now. So that's the way I look at it. Is Southampton? Yeah, we both got that one right.
Yeah. I put Everton, and I still stand by it. I think that they're looking still the same, even if they're not in the actual relegation zone. They're only they're only 2 points above Palace.
Shaky start.
Very shaky. And I guess that's it. There's like nothing much that we can add at the moment. So from Leicester, there's still, the race for, not the title, but what's the opposite of the title?
Race to stay in the league.
Race to stay in the league. Yeah. Next one is underachievers.
We both put the same team, and we were both so right, and I love it because all the mainstream stuff I was seeing was all, and even the non-mainstream stuff, it was like, oh Man United will do really good. I see him in the top four. We saw those glasses. Prescription is good.
Not at the moment, but it's just the power of prediction. I just dream it. It's like,
the third eye just opens in your head. Your wife gets scared,
and I'm like, whoa. I'm trying to hear something. Man United. Oh yes, yeah. Crap.
I looked at it and I saw what all the deluded people didn't, which is what's changed. Jack Hall. So what's going to be different? Jack Hall.
It's just, you put it as a rage, like, I hope that they go down, like, I hope that they underachieve, and then you're like, oh, actually, they underachieve.
I didn't even put it like that.
No, I'm just, it's just like, I'm just joking, but yeah, both me and Daniel were like, yeah, no, there's no chance, because we saw how they played last season. There's not much is going to change as long as they Hampton.
Ten Hag's good in cup competitions. He's shown that, but he's crap in the league. He's a poor man's Thomas Tuchel because he doesn't win big cup competitions like the Champions League because he can't, because he's not good enough. And Thomas Tuchel does better in the league than him anyway, in my opinion. Oh, Anthony, go on, show the camera. Anthony is so crap, and I don't know why they still play him. And I love so much more Jadon Sancho left to Chelsea, who all the United fans were like, oh, Chelsea are going to be so crap this season still. Ha ha ha. Enjoy mid-table. They're challenging for top 4 with the man they spent 80 mil on. It's beautiful. It's a great hate watch at the moment, watching Manchester United, because they're so poor and there's nothing changing. I mean, they should have sacked him in this international window. They've chosen to stick with him, which I agree with the Man United fans who are saying sack him because he's not good enough. And even if you're going to pick someone who's marginally better and you're going to be chopping and changing a bit,
it's just too much money that Man United is going to lose if they actually sack him, because there's no really much revenue from hiring a different manager at the moment. And we spoke about this, like if I actually was in charge of whatever it is, manager of operations, I would take that. Yeah.
Director of football.
Yeah, sorry, I've just went into like corporate. I think that I will take that leap of faith and just take that risk, grab a different manager, and just go on with it. And if even more money is lost, then well, at least I took the risk.
I mean, the most important thing which you can do is, especially with the Ineos group coming in, is you want to establish yourself as being different from the previous ownership. Yeah, and I would come in and be like, we aren't going to stop until we find the right man for the job.
I think I spoke about this last time, myself. I said, you're losing the fans. You're losing that energy that, the fans have to go and see the club playing. And it's really sad to see. But it's really good to watch at the same time. I
think what I've seen a lot of United fans do is they've kind of said, oh yeah, but Arteta really struggled in his early years at Arsenal, and he did. There was a point where I'm very open with this, I wanted him gone. Europa League semi-final, Villarreal, we're passing it around on the halfway line. We needed to score 1 goal to go to the final of the Europa League and to win European silverware because we were up against Man United. Did we? No, we passed around sideways in the 90th minute. I was raging. I was like, I want him gone. It wasn't him, it was the players. At that point, you weren't up to it, in my opinion. But with
he
Arteta,
showed everybody that he is.
You saw
capable.
The vision. Even though Ten Hag technically has won more trophies or whatever, because he's won a Carabao Cup as well, nobody cares about the League Cup. But I look at it in the way of Arteta's style of play. You could see the improvement. And the biggest one is the culture of the football club. The fans were divided, similar to how United fans are at the moment, and he united them. Ten Hag is currently separating them all into
exactly.
Ten Hag out or Ten Hag in.
That's what I'm talking about. There's no
feel-good factor at the club.
The team is not glued. The fans and the teams, there's just no chemistry. There's nothing. I mean that Manchester United fans have always been a bit.
The way I look at it is, look at how Man United fans are treating the players at the moment. They're starting to rage at even Kobe Mainoo. Look at Arsenal fans when Arteta was in charge. We loved Bukayo Saka. We loved Smith Rowe. We loved Martinelli. There were some players who you just loved in the club. And it wasn't like what's he doing? Like, don't get me wrong, at times you're there a bit frustrated with him, but you never like openly slagging him off and saying he's crap, he's not good enough. People are doing that with Garnacho. They're doing that with him. Like, they're doing it with the United players at the moment because they're not United.
What? Oh my gosh.
That was a good one.
Can we just applaud to Daniel for making this word joke or whatever it is? This word play.
Oh, thank you.
I loved it.
I
think I'll just, quote you for this the whole time. As Daniel said,
they are not united.
They're not united.
But I think we spoke about United enough.
Yeah, it's enough. Let's talk about the overachievers. We both put Fulham.
And they're doing well.
They're doing well.
Hell yeah, baby!
Yeah, 8th place for a team like Fulham is great. They're not the best, but they are overachieving what their expectation is.
They're doing good. They're challenging for Europe. They're in those European challenging positions, which is overachieving, in my opinion. And they're doing really well. I mean, the only other clear one, in my opinion, would have been Chelsea. Because Chelsea doing really good compared to what a lot of people thought.
You kind of expect it from Chelsea because they've been a good team for forever.
You say that, but not many people put Chelsea in their top 4 predictions or even close to it.
We didn't, but I'm talking about overachieving. That's what I'm talking about. It's something like,
It's more of an achievement for Fulham to make Europa Conference League than it is for Chelsea to make Champions League, because Chelsea have spent over $1 billion.
That's exactly my point. After Chelsea has spent so much money, they've got so many good players, you will expect them to get at least Europe, like at least Europa League, not even Conference League, Europa League. Come on.
You know what? I withdraw my Chelsea was a better one. You convinced me. Well done. And you know what? You deserve a round of applause for that. That was very good. Wow, he clapped himself there, guys. I would just like to take note that when he clapped me, I did not clap myself because I wasn't.
I don't care. I'm right.
I mean, you were definitely right. Yeah, I agree. Fulham are that team. They're doing a really good job at the moment. They were so close. Freaking Adama Traore. What an idiot. If it wasn't
Yes,
for him,
no, you just reminded me.
exactly,
Oh
so
God.
crap.
Oh.
But they're doing a really good job. They've got the setup sorted. They've got the players in. They know what they want to do, and they've got a solid manager in there. And Fulham fans, because I know a few, they'll be buzzing right now with how their football club's doing. I'd be gassed up, man.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, it was a bit rough when Mitrovic first left. And then they solidified now. They've got the groundworks in, because when you lose a star player, look at Crystal Palace. Even in an established club, when you lose your star player, it can be really rough. So, well done to them and Marco Silva, which transitions perfectly into our predictions for managers of the season.
I said Arteta. He said Marco Silva. I think
Arteta at the moment.
I don't know.
In my opinion, if we win the league, definitely. Especially when you look at what's been going on at the moment with injuries, which we haven't been complaining about. I would just like to say there's a lot of other teams which have complained about injuries the past couple of seasons, stuff like that. Oh, well, because we had so many injuries, we were struggling. No, we've had Ødegaard out. We've had other players in and out of the squad. He's been out for like a couple of months now, hasn't he? Or... It's more like just 1 month, to be honest. But
it feels long.
It feels long. It feels long. Maybe over a month, because it was the last international break.
Yeah, so it's been over a month.
So we've had Ødegaard out, we had Calafiori out at points, we had Marino out,
now there's Saka,
Martinelli. Well, Kai Havertz will probably be back, I would assume. It was like a little knock for Kai, I think. Yeah. So we've had a lot of injuries. We've had Tomiyasu out, Zinchenko out. We've had loads of players.
Zinchenko, really?
Yeah, because I think at the start of the season he might have started a couple of matches.
Yeah, that's what you mean, but yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, everyone full fitness, everyone squad cohesion. He's not starting over one man. But I just want to say, Marco Silva.
Again, just completely what you're saying. Wow. Like the fact that
good manager
is like his 8th at the moment. Spot on.
As I mentioned, when I did this pick, I didn't want to do like a generic, like, oh, it's whoever wins the league sort of thing.
It's Pep Guardiola once again.
Exactly. It's like, it's so difficult. He just can't stop winning. No. It's like, I want to look at something maybe a little bit outside the box, for example. And you know who else I would argue for manager of the season, who I think's done potentially a more difficult job than Marco Silva?
Go on.
Maresca, Chelsea manager.
We've spoken about Chelsea a lot, but yeah.
We have, because they've surprised. They've surprised.
Should we applaud to Chelsea once again?
No. No, all right. But they've surprised a lot. And when you look at what Maresca's been able to do, don't get me wrong, Pochettino did start getting a little winning tune out of them right at the end, where they play very different football.
Yeah, so I completely agree with you. He's just bringing a different
style, different vibe to the club.
And you know, you can see that even if they spend loads of money for loads of different players, he's actually been able to play quite a few of them. So it's good. He's
fitting them all into the system, and he's being a bit brutal, which was needed. He kicked Sterling out, which, don't get me wrong, I think is a bit disrespectful because he's a Premier League winning player. But he had the balls to do it. That's what you need as a manager. Arteta got rid of Aubameyang, and he got rid of Ozil. Sometimes you need to come in with the balls and just say, all right, pal, jog on. I don't want you here.
I would have sacked Aubameyang as well if I was Arteta.
Oh, yeah, of course. But it's one of those, it's sometimes you need to come in and you say, okay, you, I don't want you. And what he's doing with Sancho is phenomenal. Sancho is a confidence player. He needs people to believe in him. And honestly, you know what I thought was a bit damning? Was Maresca basically said it in an interview. He was like, oh yeah, he's a confidence player. And I was like, oh, like I would not be happy if someone was saying that about me. But he's right. He is a confidence player. And you see the picture of Maresca when he had the Manager of the Month award, it's him and Jadon Sancho laughing and smiling. Because
he's got his pupil, and he's like, you know,
exactly. He's got the cohesion
nurturing
around
him, and
he's got the cohesion with the players he wants to do. And someone like Sancho, who's got very good creative ability, he's making what a lot of people would consider to be very easy passes. Because when you look at some of his assists, it's just a straight pass into somebody. But what people don't understand is beforehand, he has to occupy the space where he's got that path. He's got that channel which is open, and he knows when to do it. The difference is, look at Chelsea last season.
They were crap.
They were struggling for that because if it was the person who was passing it in was Cole Palmer, really, and Nicholas Jackson is a bit better now, 100%, because he's getting a bit older, more mature. Madueke is getting better. Cole Palmer's even getting better. So I really think Maresca has done a phenomenal job so far. Obviously, this could all go to pot. It could do. Like, Cole Palmer gets injured, hit all the way down. But at the moment, he's done a phenomenal job. And I just want to say, well done to him for that. Because a lot of people saying that Chelsea job was an impossible job. He's proven. Hell
Wrong.
No.
So the last few bits were signing of the season,
Ooh.
player of the season.
I'll let you go off with yours because you've done a much better job than I have.
Oh my gosh. I put down Calafiori, and I am so happy that I am right about this. This man, so good.
You've done me in on this.
Yeah, he just proved himself in every single aspect of, he just made first team in how many matches? 2, 3, 4, whatever. And he's just there. He scored a great goal on his first match.
First start for Arsenal. Phenomenal.
And the thing that I really like about him is that he has adapted himself very well with a new league, a language that he doesn't speak, teammates that he doesn't know, all sorts of, all these things. So very well done for Ricardo Calafiori.
I think he's the difference maker in the Arsenal team. Like,
you were mentioning,
we were looking for the attack, and we were wanting attacking players and everything, but that left side with Calafiori charging into that midfield position on the edge of the box, he can score goals. He can
back and forth, doesn't get tired. He just, he's down.
He's tenacious.
Oh,
what a word!
Tenacious. I'm gonna write it down because I need to learn new words.
It's like when he goes into challenges, he's just bang. But you expect usually when you see players doing that, it's like because like it's gonna not pay off in the end. They're going a bit wild. With him, he does it, and you stare, and you're just like. At first, I was very much like, chill out, maybe a bit, mate. But then I was just like, oh no, this is just Calafiori.
No!
He's just like that. He's built differently.
Yeah, exactly.
Built differently. Still recording?
Yeah.
Perfect. Then we'll move to dreadfully mine. Freaking, I put Füllkrug in, and I understand he's injured, but I think I've misread this a little bit. I looked at it as Füllkrug is a very good player, and I think it's almost like a David Moyes wet dream. Like he wakes up hot, sweaty, and there's a little bit of something else there too. You know what I mean? Like he wakes up and he's there. He's ready to go camping. We'll put it that way. You know what I mean? Like he's there like, and I failed to realise that obviously David Moyes is no longer there. There's a completely new manager in Lopetegui, and is he going to want a David Moyes level, not David Moyes level, but that type of striker? I don't know.
But there's still only 7 matches in. So there's still
anything could change.
I
pray it does. I'm not hoping he's better than Calafiori. I hope Calafiori stays better than him. But
whoa! Don't touch my boy.
I said I hope he stays better.
Okay.
He's an Arsenal player. That's what comes first and foremost for me, Giorgio.
Yeah. You didn't show the pendant. You just like.
I know. I grabbed it, and the pendant just slid. I was like, "Cribman."
But yeah, and to finish off the player of the season. So we both said
a Norwegian. Ooh, jinx.
What do you do like when you say jinx?
You say touch wood.
Oh, okay. Is there any wood in here?
Oh no, like we usually when you say jinx, it's like the person just can't speak. You just go jinx, touch wood, and then you just like keep on going on these random things, but it's kind of just pointless.
Okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't raised in England with all these.
Yeah, I know, Giorgio. It's just a bit of fun. I was just introducing it to you.
Thank you, teaching me something that I need to teach my children.
That's true.
So I said Erling Haaland. You said
Martin Odegaard,
yeah.
El Capitano.
He's been injured for quite a while, as we already mentioned.
Freaking Norway, man, injuring him. What mongs.
And Erling Haaland has scored 10 goals. Is the top scorer at the moment.
I mean, for me, I looked at it and because I truly believe Arsenal are going to win the league. I still do. And rightfully so. As an Arsenal supporter, I should believe that.
You're deluded but self-aware.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any club which is going to be in a title race has to believe that they're going to win. That's just the fact of it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's an inevitable thing that I have to believe that. So I think if we do win, you have to look at who our best player will be, and I believe that it was going to be or will be. See that was the other point. I think it was going to.
Sorry.
I thought it was going to be Martin Odegaard because personally, I think from what I'd seen of him, he ties together what we do more. But what Saka's done so far, if he keeps up this for the rest of the season, he's going to get Player of the Year.
Come on.
He will get Player of the Year. He will be, mate. Statue built. If we win the Premier League and he's our best player by a mile, build the statue right now. Don't let him leave. Build a statue. Encase him in there.
I don't think he's going to leave anytime soon, to be honest.
I hope he never leaves. Well, as you said anytime soon, that gets me worried, man.
I mean, he might.
No,
we spoke about Ben White earlier on.
Yeah, so. let's keep him for the rest of his career, please.
There's not very many players that do that anymore.
I know, but sad. He's an Arsenal.
The last one that did it, who was he? Anywhere. The last one that I can remember was Francesco Totti.
That was the one which came to my mind too.
What? Oh my gosh! Let's open this window very quickly. What a player he was! Phenomenal. He won the league with Roma for the third time after a long time. Won the World Cup. He's been a phenomenal player. The last match that he played, or one of the last matches that he played, he had beef with the manager, and because there were not strikers that were available in that match, he had to put it on to sub him on like the 70th minute, and he scored 2 goals. It was like, I'll teach you, and the fans were just screaming. They were just, yes. I love it.
Now I know what Giorgio dreams about at night. He dreams about Francesco Totti proving a manager wrong. He's there pitching the tent. You know what I mean?
I just dream about him. I dream about Calafiori. That's it.
Honestly, it's just
you've
said it.
Manchester United losing.
You've said it. Calafiori reminds you of who?
It reminds me of, unfortunately, Paolo Maldini. He's
so good.
But I will admit it, as an Inter Milan fan, Paolo Maldini was better than Zanetti, but Zanetti's my...
El Capitano.
He's my captain, so...
Oh, man.
But, yeah, I said... Let's close this small window. Erling Haaland, top scorer. He's Haaland. There's not much to...
It's the boring pick, you know what I mean? It's the boring pick.
Yeah, he... scores boring goals, is just always like up front, doesn't move, taps in, goal. That's it. And I think that is, if Manchester City wins the league, then what we just said, he's going to win it. Although the point that I wanted to make was about Cole Palmer. He's been playing very well, and as of right now, he is the best rated on average, the best player rated on average in the Premier League. Yeah, he's been good. He scored 4 goals in a match. He's been really good, and I hope he doesn't stop.
I look at it and I think, obviously, if the league stops now, he wins it. But I think the pressure he's built up now, because last season he was good. This season he's phenomenal. So it means that there's higher expectations of him week in, week out, which can be the death of a player sometimes. If people expect you to, okay, he's going to score a goal.
But because he doesn't have any
he's going to score 2 goals
alive, because he's just,
that could work in his favour 100%. He has as some people say, the Messi autism gene. You know what I mean?
Exactly. He's never going to be the next Messi. But
no, of course not. I'm not even remotely suggesting
I don't even know if there's going to be another.
There won't be. There won't be.
How long do you think we need to wait until we have a player that is as good as Messi and Ronaldo?
There's a big difference there. Messi's here, Ronaldo's here.
Yeah, but you know, like they're the two best players of
Ronaldo's level. Maybe wait another 5 or 6 years, I reckon. Something like that. We'll see another player come round. Messi never.
I think it's going to happen at some point. I think it's going to happen.
Never. Messi is.
I reckon, like, give it 20 years. There's going to be another player that is going to be managed by Lionel Messi.
You think he's going to be Argentinian?
No, managed, not the same.
No. Like, in my opinion, if Messi manages anyone, he'll manage Argentina.
I think I can see him managing Barcelona.
No, Barcelona are a shambles of a club.
Yeah, but
they're run so poorly.
Imagine
if it gets resolved and Messi gets made manager, the issue is when you come into any club as a manager, your status as a legend is tarnished. If Messi comes in and his autism gene doesn't work well with those players and he just looks like an idiot.
I don't know, England for Arsenal or...
only if he does a good job.
I don't think he will do a bad job.
I don't know. I've not seen the sort of tactical analysis of him.
It's just all hypothetical.
And it's very difficult for great players to manage good players. Because you're there... No, obviously, there's outliers to it, right?
Okay.
Let's be first and foremost, there's outliers to it. But look at the greatest managers. Pep Guardiola was not a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp was a crap player. Sir Alex Ferguson, nobody even talked about him playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but no,
all the best managers were crap players.
It's just daydreaming, you know, like if it happens, it will be...
it'd be
so
great.
Good.
It'd be
but
great.
I think going back to the main point that I was making, I think give it 20 years and we're gonna have another player that can beat Messi's records.
Think
it's going to happen.
They could beat his records, but they won't be as good as Messi. But yeah, to wrap it up, I don't think there'll be another Messi. You disagree with me, but that's fair. We'll shake on it. We'll see who's right. 20 years, we'll see who's right.
We'll be here with our children. Probably they will end up having the podcast instead of us.
Right. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be right. But thank you for watching yet again. Obviously, episode 8, we're here to stay. Lovely sofa. Obviously, we didn't address it last week, but new sofa too.
Yeah, probably. I don't think the next episode, but in 2 episodes, we're going to do something like more Halloween themed. Let's see. We can.
No, probably next episode because when it gets uploaded, it'll be Halloween time.
Yeah.
So next episode we'll do Halloween. A little spooky. But thank you for watching. Obviously, please do subscribe, like, share it with everybody you can.
Especially your nan.
She would love it. She would absolutely love it. Make sure notifications are on. And you know what, Giorgio, you love Syria. He's mentioned this, so
yeah. So you want
me to describe it for you? So Giorgio's obviously loves Syria, and he's very upset that he can't share it as much as he would want to. So if you want, when you drop a like, if we have 10 likes on the video, Giorgio will release a separate video just about Syria. And tell us what the room's going to be like, Giorgio.
The room is going to be very dark. It's going to be a really small room, probably recorded in my bathroom.
In the bathtub.
Yes, in the bathtub.
Bubbles up to your chest.
Bubbles up to my chest. Yes, and with a small light coming from on top of me, and that's it. Just me with a microphone for 20 minutes talking to myself. Yeah.
So if you want to see that, feel free to like. Also, if you are worried for Giorgio's health at this point after him saying all this, please do just drop a comment and just say, please don't do this, Giorgio. We are scared for you, and we'll respond to it appropriately. But thank you for watching. But don't forget to subscribe and to share it.
See you next week.
See you.